welcome back. I'm Erin, the 2 Martini Stitcher, here on Flosstube and on Instagram, and this is my YouTube channel about cross stitch. If you are new, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. This is where, on my regular weekly updates, this is where I'll show you what I've been working on the past week. We'll do maybe a little Q&A, some shout outs. We'll talk about what I'm going to stitch on in the coming week and show you anything I bought. So that's kind of what we do here on a weekly basis. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys so much. I'm so happy to have you guys here. Whether you're new or returning, you'll probably notice that I've been uploading a little daily quick, they're like 5 minutes. I think the longest one has been 8. A little daily video in May because I am doing Mania. I'm doing 21 new starts this month, all on weekdays. So every weekday is a new start, and I'm working on, I had 4 projects left over from last May. So, which I didn't do Mania last May. I just happened to have 4 projects that I had started in May that weren't finished yet. Always say yet. And each of those WIPs is getting a weekend. So that's kind of what's been going on here. I'm glad to have everybody here. Welcome. Typically we do cocktail happy hour, cross stitch happy hour. During the month of May, I'm recording earlier than happy hour on Sunday. And so today it's tea. This is actually one of my daughter's mugs. This is one of the girls got this in their Easter basket, but I have stolen it for mug-o tea. I have a little bit of a sore throat that I've been fighting for a couple weeks, so the tea has been my friend. And it is also very gray and rainy here in the Pacific Northwest today. The rest of the family got up to do an early morning rainy day hike. We actually like hiking in the rain, especially if you can find, there's lots of places around here to hike where there's good tree cover. And honestly, it's just kind of pleasant in the spring to hike in the rain. I took a pass because I have not been feeling great. Also, the dog has not been feeling great. So I took a pass today and have had a few blissful hours of quiet by myself in my house because that never happens anymore. I would not be surprised if they all come tromping in here while I'm recording. So not into this room, but I have a feeling they're going to be back before long. So how was everybody's week? I had a pretty good week. To be honest, I'm not even sure I could tell you what I did. The weeks are all kind of blending together. They're all kind of the same. I do a little Mania spin. I make a dinner. Other than that, the weeks are kind of blending together. Oh, the dog. I took the dog to the vet a couple times. That is why the week feels like it, I don't even know what happened. He's fine. He's going to be fine. Turns out he has hookworm. So that's not great. Not sure where he picked that up. Could have been eating something inappropriate in our backyard. We have lots of rodents and such that he likes to chase and sometimes catch. So who knows? But he will be fine. We're going to be deworming him. Yay! But he's already feeling a lot better. I, on the other hand, am tired and sore because I spent a night sleeping on the couch with him downstairs to keep an eye on him because he was really not great the middle of the week. Our couch is not comfortable. I am now going to be, the couch needs to be replaced. We've known this for, a good 6-8 months. It's in sad shape. But after sleeping on it a night, definitely going to be trying to get that replaced this year. Anyway, I have rambled a lot. I'm not usually this rambly. Okay. So the one thing I have been doing is watching a ton of Flosstube because there are so many fun videos out right now. So I did want to do a couple shout outs of people that I've watched this week that, they're may be new to you, they might not be new to you, but they're people that I thought, I really enjoy their videos and I'm not sure I've ever given them a shout out. The first one is Stitching at the Cabin. They're doing a mania and doing more regular updates, I think, than they typically do. That might not be true, but I feel like they've been doing more. I feel like I've been seeing more videos from them because they're doing kind of a weekly mania update, and super, super fun. Mom and daughter pair. They're stitching, I want to say fantasy book, fairy tale bookshelf. I think it's the newest huge Heaven and Earth Designs Amy Stewart bookshelf. They're stitching it together, like literally together. Check them out. They're a hoot. They're very funny. I'm always entertained by their videos. I enjoy all of their stitching. So they're a fun one to check out. Also, Candace K. I know that I mentioned her before. She's a newer floss tuber, and I think I had mentioned that I was going to check out her channel. Well, I have been, and she's very, very fun. She's also doing fun mania updates, lots of great stitching. Like, she's banging out finishes in mania. Cheers. That's impressive. And then the other person that I've watched for quite a while, I'm sure you're all aware of her, but it's Akia, Ladywing Designs. She's also a knitter, so she shows her knitting as well. But she's been doing like a stitch count mania, and this was one that I hadn't heard anybody mention besides her, where she's shooting for 1,000 stitches a day in May, and she's doing this. I mean, you guys know this project got my heart. It's this amazing full coverage Professor Snape piece that is looking amazing, and she started it and is aiming to finish it. Like, it's more of like a mini size, but anyway, she's doing some like daily, maybe not daily. I think she's doing them like filming daily and then compiling them every few days. I can't remember the frequency, but there's been quite a few videos from Ladywing Designs. Check her out, very fun. And then also the daily videos from Jessie Marie, if Jessie Marie does stuff. And I know you guys are all watching her, but it's just been really fun to see her mania plans, and as they change and shift, it's always fun. So that's what I've been doing this week, other than stitching. So let's get to the stitching. The first thing I do want to show you guys is my full coverage project, because I always start with that. If you're new here, I have two. Before we get to the stitching, we might have new people here because I had two, not one, but two huge milestones this week here on my Flosstube channel. The first is that yesterday was my 1 year Flosstube anniversary. 1 year. I cannot believe that I've been doing this for a year. So that's super fun. I think that this is Flosstube number 48, 49. I missed a few weeks just from traveling, but in general, I've been here every week. And when I did that first video, I wasn't sure I would even post it. I sure didn't think anybody would watch it. This has been a really fun ride, a really fun year. The second big milestone I hit was 3,000 subscribers. And that happened Friday, the day before my 1 year anniversary. And so that was really fun. I was close Thursday and Friday, and I had asked my girls, you guys gotta love teenagers, they put the in place. I was like, hey girls, it'd be really fun if I hit 3,000 by my 1 year Flosstube anniversary. So if I haven't by Saturday, would like 1 or 2 of you subscribe to my channel to push me to 3,000? They really, I think one of them said, if you don't, come ask me, but I don't want you to I don't want subscribing to your channel to mess up my recommended videos. I don't all of a sudden want to have cross-stitching videos in my YouTube channel. Like subscribing to one, I probably actually would. It would probably screw up their algorithm. Who am I kidding? So that was 2 huge things. I have been collecting different giveaways, and when Mania is all done, the first video in June, there's going to be a big giveaway celebration, and we'll celebrate all the things, the end of Mania, Flosstube anniversary, and 3,000 subscribers in June. So stick around, because that'll be coming the first week of June. So if you are new, I took a turn. I have 2 full coverage projects, and I swap them out. They each get a week, and then I swap between the 2. So this week was Harry Potter book covers. And with Mania, this did not get a lot of stitching this week. I picked up some other projects when I wasn't stitching on my, you'll see when I wasn't stitching on my Mania spin for the day, I was picking up some other monthly things that I want to make sure gets done during the month. And so Harry Potter book cover suffered a little bit. I think it only got like 500 or 600 stitches. Matter of fact, I left it in the middle. I didn't even finish a block because I thought for sure I would come back to it last night, and then I didn't. So there's strings hanging everywhere, but this is where I am. So you can see, because this one isn't a block of 100, it's 140, I think. This one here. And so I didn't even get that. But it's coming in where it says, shows Chamber of Secrets here. It's starting to come in. You're starting to see it, and the outline of the bricks is now more visible. So it's looking good. Progress, I feel like, is definitely slowed down on the full coverage, but I'm still picking them up a little bit, and I figure that they might suffer a little in May, and I'm just okay with that. So, but we're getting there. We're getting there. This whole area is a little more confetti heavy in general, and so it just does seem to be a little more slow going, but it's coming along. So that was my progress on Harry Potter book covers. Needle like hanging out. So that is that full coverage, and then I'll be bringing Farewell to Anger back out for this week. So for the rest of my WIPs, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the Mania starts in order, and then I'll go back and show you the other things that I worked on. So when I left you guys last Sunday, I was working on, I should have checked. I can't remember whether I did more work in this or not, so I'm just going to show you. Buttons and Beads, Mill Hill Kit. This was my WIP for last weekend. And I think that I did work on this some more after I showed it in my regular Flosstube update. Because I feel like I did get more work in on it. So this is where it is now. And I did get this whole border done. So what's left is beading. And I did a little more work down here and started across the top. So I got good progress on this last weekend. I feel good about where I've left it. I'm gonna see after Mania's over what my plan of attack is going forward. I still have WIP Go, which I kind of haven't looked at or touched this month. So next month, I think I'm definitely gonna get back on the WIP Go train. And that's a group with like a bingo board type deal run by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. I'll link all the groups, everything I talk about, Flosstubers I mentioned, groups, any Facebook groups I'm in, any shops I mentioned will all be linked below, along with all the information on the works in progress I show. So that'll all be in the description box below. So I'm definitely going to get back on the WIP Go train, but I'm also, I don't know, most of my WIP Go things are finishes. The goal on them is a finish. I also want to maybe start going back to like these older things and finishing them up as well. I don't know, it's kind of future me's problem, but I'm starting to think about what kind of rotation or how I want focus pieces to go so that I'm getting some finishes after all of these starts, which I'm having so much fun. I wasn't sure. I thought I might get sick of this real quick, starting something and working on it for just a few hours one day, but I'm still having so much fun. And I'm excited for the next 2 weeks, but I can see when all is said and done after May, I'm gonna have a period of wanting to finish things. It's all about balance, right? Balance. Okay, so that was what I worked on last weekend. And then Monday, the wheel spun for me. Strutting Tom by Lindy Stitches. This was one of 2 things I pre-ordered for Mania. I've ordered, I bought more Mania releases since then, but I figured anything I pre-ordered, like I liked it so much I pre-ordered it, I should start in May. So this was one of them, and You're Okay by Bendy Stitchy that I started the week before was one of them. So Strutting Tom, I got it as the whole kit. So this is everything called for. I'm gonna go through these kind of quick. I'm not gonna give a whole bunch of information on them because I did that in the daily videos. So if you want a lot more information on them, you can go back to that day. So this was Monday, May 11th. And here's where I got to. Needle Minder was a gift from Stephanie, super chick. I will link her below. She's lovely. And it has a fantastic turkey on it, so it needed to be on this project. And I got his whole body done in that one darker color. This was incredibly fun to stitch. And I think this will be one of those quick finishes to get back to. Like, I think this will be one of those things that I'll probably pick up sooner rather than later and just get finished. So that's Strutting Tom. All called for on that because it was a kit. Then Tuesday, I spun my new start to be Souvenirs of the Heart, Star Spangled Spectacular by With Thy Needle and Thread. I'm doing this on a 28 count bone lugana that I tea coffee dyed. And I'm doing it 1/1 as suggested on the chart with mostly called for threads. I think I made a couple exceptions. So here is my progress, which is actually a lot of stitches because it's 1/1. So I do know that I subbed out this flagpole color. I don't know what it was supposed to be. Cidermill Brown, I think. Let me look. Yeah, it's supposed to be Cidermill Brown. I subbed out Wagon Wheel because I didn't have it. The white is supposed to be Classic Color Works Eggshell. I'm using Whitewash because that's what I had. And I love this. This will probably not be a super quick finish because it just takes me a little longer to do the 1/1. But it's really cute. It's going to be really tiny and cute. And that'll be fun to get back to maybe in June or July. So can you hear the kids tearing back in? I can hear them. All right, Wednesday, the wheel spun, one that I was so excited to start. And that is Heartstring Samplery Whip It Good. I mentioned on my dailies, and I'll mention it here too, this was a limited time charity chart that she sold on her Etsy shop as a PDF download only in December. So you can't get this right now. She said that she was gonna at the time she said she would release it at some point. So, keep an eye on her space because I'm sure it'll come back up. But I loved it and knew I wanted to stitch it sooner rather than later, so I snagged it in December. I am stitching this on a beautiful piece of 18 count Aida by BeStitchMe in the color Maroon with one strand of Sulky white, and that is where I got to. Let's see if I have some papers here. I'm hoping maybe, yeah. It's a little more wine color than it's showing there, but this fabric is fantastic. I love it. The one strand is stitching up beautifully. The one strand of Sulky on this 18 count. And this is a super fun stitch. Super fun. And so happy with how that's looking. So that's Whip It Good. Next up on Thursday was, this one actually didn't even have a bag because it was a last minute addition to the wheel. And so I put it in this one that I showed last week that I got from Leslie Hurley. So over it. So this is the only Mania project at the moment that got a fancy bag. But it seemed perfect for my Stitcher's Heart, and I'm working on this tomato pincushion. And I'm doing this in all the called for 28 count platinum with called for floss. I didn't get a huge start on this, but it stitches really quick. So this is my start on that. That's Classic Colorworks Crab Cakes, which this is amazing. And WIPS Works Grasshopper. Little Zappy Dot matching needle minder. And that's my start. This would be like absolutely, I think I said in my other video too, like this would be absolutely perfect. Like Zoom stitchy meetup, retreat stitching, because you just kind of get into a rhythm. That's really fun. When I come back to that, I think that'll stitch up pretty quick as well. You finishing on it? Hey, you know, it happened as quickly. We'll see. Once again, future me problem. All right, and then Friday was not a wheel spin. It was my last like planned start for Mania that had like a specific day that I was starting it. And that is Summer at Cherry Hill. Summer at Cherry Hill by Brenda Gervais. And I am stitching this on a 32 count Cherry Pit Brown linen by R&R with all the called for flosses with one substitution, and the one substitution I made is what I stitched in. So there is my start. It was not a great big start on Friday. I had a pretty busy day, and I also started another project on day 2, but there it is. So this is called for in the chart to be chili pepper. And I subbed it out for Briar Rose to kind of just go better with the fabric. And I, so far, am loving it. I wasn't really, like, I love this fabric and this fabric choice, but I wasn't really sure how it was going to work out. So far, fantastic. We'll see as I get further into it, but I'm kind of a seasonal stitcher in that I like to stitch the current season, which doesn't make for me having a lot of finishes ready to go and put up, but this is going to be a joy to stitch on come summer. This was a planned start because I am stitching this with Deborah from Stitch the Stash. And we planned this like last summer or fall to start this in Mania. So, and hers is already looking great. She has like a whole bunch of like the girl's face and arm done. Check her out on Instagram. I'll link her channel below too. And she has fantastic Flosstube. But she's kind of center-ish starting. So it's going to be fun to see ours progress differently. And the needle minder, yes, I did buy specifically for that project from Grandma Girl Designs. You have to have a matching needle minder. Okay, and here's all the flosses for it. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So that was all the Mania starts for the week. Other things I stitched on. I started last Sunday. I started this month's yearbook, well, June's, because I've been stitching these a month ahead so they're ready when the new month rolls over, and I don't want to fall behind on that. So I started, here, I'll flip it this way so you can see June. June, Lizzie Kate yearbook. I have June and July left, guys, and I will have stitched the entire set. Like I started last July stitching August, and I've stayed on top of this thing for a year now, almost. Like, I mean, as soon as I finish July, it'll be done. That's impressive. I don't stick with anything. So there it is. I got a pretty good start on it. I used a bunch of these stitches for WIP Whammy and semi-sane. So there we go. So I don't have a ton left. I have another flower, another little toadstool, a couple bees, and the border to go. So I'm hoping to finish this up this week. I just want these little things. I don't want to be rushing to do them at the very end. So I'm kind of fitting these in here and there during the week. So Junior Yearbook has a good start on it. The other kind of monthly thing that I started this past week on the 13th, because Dark 13 Stitching, was this month's Tingles block. I've been doing those all year. I've been doing those. I've been starting it on the 13th and doing one block a month. I'm stitching the whole set all together on one piece of fabric. And this month I'm working on the Double Toil and Trouble. So I worked on this the 13th, I think some on the 14th. And I'd like to get back and finish it up this week or next. So here's where I am on the Double Toil and Trouble. So I'm close. I need the cauldron, the and Trouble, and then that's it. Are there any other bats? No. I need the cauldron and Trouble. This is gonna be easy. I'm gonna finish this up this week and have that checked off. So there it is. It's on a 14 count Aida in Prank by Picture This Plus. And I am stitching it with the listed DMC conversion, with the exception of guacamole and sweet potato. Those I kept, but everything else I went DMC. So that's Tingles. And then on Friday, I did start another Be Well chart, because I've been doing one every Friday while we're on stay-at-home orders. And the one that I picked for this week, I think, was the one that caught my eye first. And it is by Lucy Beam. It was a little bigger and more intense than I thought, which I think is partially why I got such a pathetic start on Summer at Cherry Hill, but there it is, another start and finish. So it went like, so you can see, like, there's the shepherd's bush from the week before. There is this week's. And it's a lot of stitches because it's a lot of fill-in. So, but I love it. I couldn't figure out what was supposed to be in this little block, so I just put the year. I had talked last week about maybe turning these all into a quilted wall hanging, because I'll show you if you're new. If you're new, here are all the other ones I've done. I had to move to a second piece of fabric. Little tags flying everywhere. So here's all the other ones I've done. So I'd asked about turning it into like a quilted wall hanging, and you guys were all fantastic. I got so much encouragement that yes, that's something I could do, even though I've never quilted before. You guys left tips, tutorial videos. I feel now I wish I had been a little more thoughtful about how much fabric I have around these, especially that Be Well. But I got lots of great advice on, adding different amounts of like a basic cotton quilting fabric around each of them so that they end up being the same size. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8. I think I'll have 10 when I'm done. We'll see. But man, I think that this one might make a great center block. Maybe I'll have 9. I've got at least a couple more weeks. But I think this one with the date on it, because it's a little bigger, might be a good center block. So we'll see. It might be something that I try to do. You guys all make me feel like I could do it for sure. It might also be something that I leave to someone much more talented than I, that I can pay to take care of it for me. I am all about paying for other people's expertise. I defer to the experts on a lot of things. So that got started on Friday and finished Saturday. Also over the weekend, I pulled the next WIP for my Mania, and this one, I don't have a cover page. This came as part of a stitchy box that I got from Plastic Little Covers. She has a shop on Etsy, and she also has a website. Some of like my most favorite PDF patterns came from Plastic Little Covers. Her florals and typography and snarkiness, fantastic. And she occasionally in the past has done these like themed stitchy boxes. So this pattern came out of one of those stitchy boxes. It's since been on her, it's been put as a single pattern on her Etsy shop. So hold on, I screenshot the preview image. The box was all sleep themed. So there was one that said so tired, one that said queen of sleep, and then there was this one, it's nap time. And when my youngest saw this, she was like, oh, do that one first. And I want it to hang on my door when I'm taking a nap and don't want to be disturbed. So like a little do not disturb sign. So I started this on May 21st of last year. So it's not quite a year old. On my little daily vlog, I had said, hey, I might even be able to finish that this weekend. So when I started, I had the words, it's nap time, and these pink moon phases. When I said that, in my head, I was thinking I had these blue moon phases to do and these little gold stars and lines. I had forgotten that this whole thing back here is filled in with a gray circle. I briefly thought about not doing it and just calling it done, but I think it's really going to need it. So here's where I have gotten to. I'm going to work on this some more today, but I did get the 3 blue moon phases done and I've started the fill in. See, I really do think because it's a circle and then the gold like kind of shooting stars come out of it, I kind of think it needs it. So that's where I am. This is not going to get put away. I've decided I'm not putting this up. It's going to become a little bit of a focus piece and I'm going to get it done. Even in Mania, I'm going to do like 2 strands of the gray every day until this thing is done because it's not going to take very long. And it's just one that I'd love to finish for her. I even have the backing fabric. I even bought backing fabric. It's nursery fabric, but she thought it was cute as heck. Look, little moons and stars. Isn't that going to be cute? Little moons and stars. So I would just like to get this done because this is one that I don't want to put back up and then carry into next year. That's silliness. So I'm just going to focus on this and get this done. Probably not by the 21st, probably not by its birthday, but pretty close. So you'll probably see this next week. And there we go. It's nap time. And I'll work on that some more today as well. See how far I get in doing all that fill in. So that's everything I worked on, guys. Whew. A lot of stitching in 1 week. Oh, I think I didn't give you a lot of the information on that. The Lucy Beam, the Be Well projects are on 32 count platinum linen, and it's in kind of a random palette that I pulled and I've kept the same. That one in particular was, the black was Anchor Black. The silver is Glass Slipper by Gentle Arts. The green is English Ivy by Classic Colorworks. And the red is Country Redwood by Gentle Arts. So this is 16 count antique white Aida. And on that, because that was a bonus chart, it wasn't even charted with colors. It was like light blue, dark blue, just pick your own. So I just pulled like DMC colors that I had. I had pulled 2 grays because I wasn't sure. And I'm going with this darker one because this just didn't quite show up against the white enough. So that's 3024. But yeah, so that's the information on that. Because I haven't given that actually anywhere. I think that's it for what I worked on. And I will have all the information, fabric, designer, threads in the information, in the description box below. Because I'm not so good. Not so good at saying it at the time. All right, plans for this coming week. What do I have planned? More spins. I don't have any more planned starts. So the next 2 weeks is going to be wheel spins, wheel spins, wheel spins. It's so fun seeing what's coming up on the wheel every day. The only other thing I have, like Tingles, was on my calendar to start on the 13th. I forgot to work on Crosses of the Kingdom on the 12th. I just forgot. Like the next day, it was the 13th, and I was cruising Instagram, and I was like, saw someone post Dark 13 stitching. I was like, it's the 13th. I gotta get out Tingles. And I went, that means I missed working on Crosses of the Kingdom on the 12th. Oh, well, I didn't go back and pick it up. It'll wait till next month. I've got time before I need to panic about getting that done for my parents' anniversary. However, tomorrow is the 18th. I started Stars Bright last month for our anniversary on April 18th, and I said I was going to work on it the 18th of every month. So Stars Bright will come out to play tomorrow, but that's it. That's all I have. I have Stars Bright tomorrow. Other than that, it's going to be Mania, finishing up the Tingles block, finishing up June yearbook, picking away at It's Nap Time, and I need to do a little bit of stitching for an ATC swap I'm in. So I want to get that done this week. I mean, it'll be tiny. They go in a little card, but I want to get that done this week. So I'll do that before I finish up June yearbook and Tingles. That sounds like a lot of stuff, huh? I better get stitching. So those are plans for this coming week. And other than that, I think all we have left is haul, what I bought. And there's quite a bit this week because some orders that have been hanging out there for a while showed up. It was like Christmas. One of the orders I totally forgot I had even placed. So let's start with that one first, because I apparently placed an order with Picture This Plus months ago, which I never ordered from them before. I knew that it takes them a long time because it's my understanding, I could be wrong, but it's my understanding that they dye on a schedule. So if you order fabric from them, like you get it when they get to that dye, when they're dyeing that color in their schedule. I could be wrong, but that's my understanding. I knew that, and I, at the time, was in no hurry for the fabric because I had ordered 2 fabrics for WIP It Good. I ordered 2 fabrics from Picture This Plus for WIP It Good, and then totally forgot I had ordered them, bought that beautiful piece of fabric from BeStitchMe, and have started WIP It Good. So now I have these 2 pieces of gorgeousness. So this is, they're both 18 count Aidas, which is what I bought from Brandy at BeStitchMe. This is Cabernet, which looks very similar to what I ended up getting from Brandy, but this is beautiful. And I got fat quarters of both. So that's Cabernet, beautiful. And I also got a piece of 18 count Aida and Huntress, because this was the inspiration fabric for me even wanting to do WIP It Good. Michelle of Mitch Stitch, why can't I say that? Mitch Stitch. Oh, go watch her videos. She is fantastic. So funny. I love when I see her videos pop up. She only records once a month, so it's like a treat. It's like a special treat when her videos pop up. She's doing Castles in the Air by Long Dog Samplers on Huntress in like a natural silk color. Stunning. And then Crafting Gaming Jamie, who also does like typically monthly videos, I think. And they're short. She does some amazing stitching. She's also doing Castles in the Air on Huntress. And so they were my inspiration for that colorway for WIP It Good. So I actually ordered a piece of Huntress. I now wish I had ordered a bigger piece because how amazing is that fabric? And I now want to do another pattern with white. I might have to find a smaller long dog that will fit on a quarter yard, a fat quarter, because that is amazing. So the good news for all of you guys is, since I forgot I ordered this and ordered from Brandy, this piece of beautiful fabric is going to go in my big giveaway in June. I'm keeping the Huntress. So that was the first surprise order to show up. The second, not totally surprised, but it had been quite a while since I had placed the order, was one from 123 Stitch. which like their shipping's just taking a long time right now, and that's fine. Totally get it. I was not in a hurry for any of this. I've actually been trying to order, like very purposely, order from smaller needlework shops. However, a little birdie named Annie messaged me and said, hey, 1, 2, 3 Stitch has some like side linens up. So I went and ordered some. So I got a 36 count tarnished silver, and I think that's just an 1/8. I got what they had. Like some of them they were out of cut sizes, but that's really pretty. And then I love the gray. You guys know I love gray. And then I got a 32 count vintage tarnished silver. I kind of wanted to see what the difference was. The vintage is just like a little lighter and more washed out looking, I guess. They're both really pretty. So I have some tarnished silver and vintage tarnished silver. I also got a 28 vintage buttercream. Because I don't have a lot of 28 fabrics, and this is just, I don't think they had it in anything besides 28. So I got an 8 vintage buttercream. And then I also ordered this. This is not a Lakeside. I think a couple of them were ended up being back ordered, which is fine that I ordered. They shipped this. The rest is back ordered. As I said, I'm in no hurry for it. I think it's Christine at Stitch the Stash stitches quite a bit on Winter Moon. So I got a big piece of 36 count Winter Moon from Zweigart. That's just, I think, a regular Zweigart color. But I wanted to check it out. It's nice because it's, I've used Silvery Moon, which is more of a gray, but this Winter Moon is more of like, it's not yellow, but it's not cream. That's a nice color, nice neutral. I just wanted to check it out because she stitches a lot of things on it, and I love her stitching. Of course, the fabric couldn't come without a pattern. So I picked this one up from Abby Rose because I was just feeling it. I think I'll just be happy today. Yeah. I think we could all use that message a little bit right now, right? I think I'll just be happy today. Just choose. Sometimes we get to choose. We get to choose how we feel about things sometimes. Not always, but I think I'll just be happy today. So that came. I also got my So Much to Love bag of the month because I'm in our bag of the month club. And this was a good bag, guys. It always comes with some goodies in it. This month, it typically comes with a pattern, an exclusive pattern. She has several designers. You always get a lovely note from Karen that tells you how she picked everything out, kind of what the theme was, how it's just always a lovely note. This month's pattern is Lindy Stitches. So you know it's fantastic, and it's Mermaid's May pin book. How perfect is this? They're always small, so you can knock them out pretty quick. This is 46 by 66, and I don't know. Oh, she says you can finish this little stitch however you choose. I finished mine as a pin book, and she tells you what Lady Dot materials she used to finish it. I'll have to find a tutorial. That's really sweet. I do love that little pin book finish. So that's the chart that came with it. We also got these adorable little scissors and a little scissors sheath. So those are going to go next to my stitching station. You always get a thing of tea. So this is decaf vanilla nut cream. Sounds delicious. I have that later today. And then this beautiful bag that is the epitome of Mayflowers. Look how gorgeous that is. And of course, like, you always get her little signature felt heart. So there's the front. The back is this little smaller. I love the big jumbo rickrack. And then the inside is also flowers. Oh, her bags are so good. So that is May's bag of the month from So Much to Love. I'm gonna put all that stuff back. So that was a little bit of happy mail. Okay, told you guys there's a lot this week. I also Found a couple things on Stash Unload that came. Somebody had a bunch of Lizzie Kates, and you guys know I love the little Lizzie Kates, especially if they come as a kit. So I got this little one. I cannot count my day complete till needle, thread, and fabric meet. And it has fabric in it and the little buttons, and that's just sweet. I'll stitch that at some point. And then this one I love, and I really want to do this one for my youngest daughter because I think she sometimes needs this reminder, and it's called Promise Me. I'll hold that up. It says, promise me you'll always remember you're braver than you believe and stronger than you seem and smarter than you think. And she's a kiddo who just kind of sometimes needs that reminder. So I'd love to stitch that for her in happy colors. And then the same seller also had T is for Turkey. How did I not have this one already? Don't know. The turkey pattern buying continues. T is for Turkey. I love that. I love that. So those came off Stash Unload, and I actually thought I restrained myself pretty well. And then I also have been looking for a particular pattern that I really wanted to stitch. I think one of the Pacific Northwest stitchers. Who stitched this? I'm drawing a blank on who stitched this. But I love it. Needed to have it. Went hunting for it. Trish at Threads Entwined had it. Of course she did. Because her shop is fabulous. This is Stay Home and Stitch, the Quarantine Project by With Thy Needle and Thread. I'd have it. I don't know, maybe I'll stitch this and it'll be like the middle of my Be Well quilt. What do we think? I don't know. So I picked up a few of the threads that she had. I needed more Blackbird because I had those 2 projects that were done in Blackbird. I needed more Blackbird, and I picked up a couple of the threads for this that I felt like that I didn't have and didn't maybe feel like substituting. I'll pull from Stash the rest of them, but I got some threads. Her stuff is always packaged beautifully. She sends your threads on a little cable floss ring. So that, and then while I was perusing her site, I also picked up Sarah's House by Blackbird Designs. My oldest is Sarah, so this one has always kind of caught my eye, and I like this one. Actually, these 2 projects. This is the antique sampler that inspired it, and they recharted this sampler. But I like this one. What is it called? A Flock of Friends, and then the little pin keep. So just to add to the stash, I don't know why, I just wanted to get it. Also in the pattern buying, I bought a couple Barbara Anna PDF patterns because if you have not seen this stitch along, then I don't know. You have to go get it right now. Barbara Anna is doing a 3-part Spellville stitch along. That's part 1. You can get it at creativepoppy.com. When she did the sneak peek of this, you couldn't order it yet. And I put it in my back of my mind, oh, I want to get that because giant skull key. Yes, please, Barbara Anna. Well, then she dropped the sneak peek of part 2 that comes out June 1st. I'm not worried about doing this as a stitch along. I haven't started this. I'm not going to start it and stitch it with everybody else. I just loved it. So the next part is fantastic. Creative Poppy. And then while I was there, they have a code. If you've never purchased from Creative Poppy before, they had a $4 off. And I think this stitch along is only $7, maybe. I don't know. It's not expensive. And it's 3 parts. You can get $4 off, and so I took that as a reason to get this one, Let It Snow, that I've always loved. More scissors from Barbara Anna. So I picked up those 2 from Creative Poppy because I didn't want to forget. I didn't want to forget when I saw her drop that second part of Spellville. I was in. And then the last pieces of mail I got were BeStitchMe, more BeStitchMe fabric. I can't stay away from the Friday night fight night, guys. Well, first I got my fabric of the month. Last month, crinkle, crinkle, I joined Brandy's fabric of the month. So if you have not received yours yet, you're not gonna wanna look. I joined and I'm alternating between a 36 and a 32 count linen every other month. So on odd number months, I'm gonna get a 36, and on even numbered months, I'm gonna get a 32, which I think is fantastic that she lets you do that. And I'm getting the neutrals. So this is a neutral 36 count linen this month, and it's called Coffee Club. Don't look if you haven't gotten yours and haven't seen it. Look how good of a piece of fabric that is. Oh, I love it. I am so happy I joined this fabric club. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So that's BeStitchMe's fabric of the month in the neutral colorway. Coffee Club. And then I also got a package from some Friday night fight night me pleases. And that week she also was kind of destashing some of her pattern stash, so you could buy patterns as well and kind of just add them in. And so I got these two that I just knew I had to own these at some point, and she had them on a little bit of a discount. And yep. So this was a collaboration from Nashville between Heartstring, Samplery, and Plum Street. I mean, two of my absolute favorites. And like, you can even stitch them together. Like, they have they designed them so you could stitch them together and maybe do a drum. I don't know when I'll stitch those. I love them. And then these are the fabrics I picked up. The first one I got is a 16 count Aida in Outback Jack. How fantastic is this? I somehow missed, I think I just wasn't paying attention the week that she had Outback Jack as like one of the main contenders, and then everybody was showing theirs, and I was so sad that I'd missed it. So she had a little bit, and that is an 18 by 21. Sometimes her cuts are, the fabric of the months, I think, are regular like quarter or half yard, like you order them that way. So I get a quarter, but the fight night ones are sometimes like not, like that's 18 by 21. It's not a regular size, I guess you would say. It's not a even eighth or quarter, but it's always listed what it is, and that's still a good size piece of fabric and a fantastic neutral. And then I picked up this piece of 18 count Aida, also 18 by 21, because in my head, this would be a fantastic piece of fabric for Huckleberry Farm by the Blue Flower. I don't own that pattern yet, but I want to. Like, at some point I will get that pattern, and in my head, it's a mania start for next year. Honestly, maybe seeing Huckleberry Farm as a mania start next year on that. And did I say this is an 18? Yes, this is an 18 count Aida, no name, but it's like a dusky lilac, and it is gorgeous. So that's what I was thinking for Huckleberry Farm. And then this other piece I picked up came, and now this might be a contender. So this is a 32 count linen, and this is a full quarter, 18 by 27. And I think like this is what I saw, right? Like it's like a taupey grayish, fantastic. I was like, yep, me please, me please. But wait till you see it all undone. Do you see what I'm seeing? It's got some like pinks and lavenders to it. And now I'm thinking this may be the contender for Huckleberry Farm. What do you guys think? That is so pretty. I mean, I will definitely use this on something. But tell me your thoughts. Huckleberry Farm on the linen or the Aida? I'll happily stitch. I don't have the pattern, so I don't know. I don't think it has any over one. If you have it and it does, let me know, because then that might help make my decision. Not that you can't stitch over one on Aida. or do partial stitches. I do all the time, but it's a little easier on a linen or even weave. So that was all my Brandy mail. I think that's it. Finally, that's it. I, however, did get shipping notice on yet another order from like over a month ago. So things are just taking a while to come, which is fine. I've got the hair's going crazy. You guys, look, it's getting real. It's getting super real up here about what my real hair color is and how much gray I have. And it's driving me a little bit nuts, but I appreciate that you guys give me an excuse to actually do something with my hair every week. Thank you. Anyway, orders are taking a while. That's fine. I have plenty of stuff to stitch, and then it's like Christmas when it comes. But I've been feeling I've cut down the shopping, but the packages are still rolling in. So maybe that's the best way to go, right? Go on a shopping spree and then they slowly come in. So that's all I have for you guys today. Still coming in right in an hour. Seems like no matter how much or how little I think I have to talk about, we get to spend cross-stitch happy hour, because it's always a happy hour when I spend it with you. That felt very Mr. Rogers. All right, I'm gonna go check in with the family, see how their hike went this morning. I will be back tomorrow to show you the additional progress I got on It's Nap Time and spin the wheel for another Monday. Oh, man, manias make Monday mornings fun. Until then, hope you guys are having a great weekend. Get lots of relaxing stitchy time. Take care of yourselves. Cheers.